What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome back to the mobile gaming recap for March the 4th already. In today's episode we have a pretty balanced lineup. We got a couple of new releases and new games on the horizon. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get in to the mobile gaming recap. Alright, so let's start off with the biggest release last week, Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now this is a brand new hero collector brought to you by Com2Us, the same exact team that brought you Summoners Wars in conjunction with Activision Blizzard and the Skylanders IP. Now all signs point to this being the biggest hero collecting release of the early part of this year, but so far, kind of looking at the early numbers that I was able to dig up, it hasn't really caught fire as far as I can tell. When I look at the subreddit, there's less than 800 people subscribed to the subreddit, and right now as far as the highest grossing RPGs, it's right there in the top 40, which is not terrible by any means, but I'm pretty sure when these two companies got together to create a brand new hero collector that's supposed to follow the legacy of Summoners Wars, they didn't anticipate this game competing with like food fantasy, right? They're not trying to go for food fantasy numbers. They're trying to go for like Summoners Wars like top 5 numbers. So far not fantastic in the early part of this game. However, I'm pretty sure the marketing blitz for this title is just starting to ramp up. So we'll see long term. Is this going to be one of those titles that just kind of sits in the top 5, top 10 spots of highest grossing RPGs? Or is it a case of the game having a much younger audience that really can't contribute to the bottom line of this title? I guess time will tell. Skylanders Ring of Heroes now available on iOS and Android. Now this next title didn't necessarily come out last week, but I got around to it last week, ELCHRONICLE. Now this game could not be more different than Skylanders Ring of Heroes. This game had absolutely no marketing behind it, has no established IP, and it came from a game development studio that I ain't never heard of. All of those things should have combined to a mediocre title at best, but I'm here to tell you my early first impression of this title are quite positive. They knocked it out of the park in my opinion. High fidelity graphics, production value just oozes through this title through and through. The character select screen, ladies and gentlemen, has theme music for all of the heroes in this game. Have you ever played a hero collector where there's theme music for every single character? When I was playing Dragalia Lost, I was getting spoiled that the raids had unique soundtracks. Now character select screens have unique soundtracks? This is crazy. And combat was actually pretty good as well. It reminded me a lot of like Destiny Knights and Grand Chase. The adventure mode plays quite different compared to other hero collectors, as opposed to going like, you know, stage by stage, 3-star in each one. In this game, you have your own like little mini world that you traverse, kind of like a single player MMO RPG, if that makes sense. You'll have side quests where you'll like rescue villagers, pick up pork butts off the ground, and of course you have like a main story quest that you follow as well. So like I said, it doesn't exactly break the mold, but it does things a little bit different than most hero collectors out there. So if you're kind of tired of the whole same old, but you want something familiar, I think ELCHRONICLE is definitely a good choice. So give it a try. It's now available on iOS as well as Android. And last but not least, when it comes to major releases last week, NetEase's brand new open world survival MMO, LifeAfter. Now, this game isn't quite globally launched at this time, so if you don't see it on your App Store or your Play Store just yet, it's still kind of rolling out. I think last week they launched the game in the United States, so if you're in the US, you can play the game, and I have kind of messed around with it for a few hours. I haven't had a chance to get around to recording a full-length video for the game just yet, but to be honest, I'm not really this game's target audience. This is not really a game that I can see myself playing for extended periods of time, but I can tell you that the game is quite impressive based on what I've seen thus far. It's going to be one of those games where you can basically build and do everything, right? You can build your house from scratch. I'm talking about the floorboards, the doors, the window seals, the stairs. All of these things have to be crafted from scratch, which requires you to go out into the world, chop down trees, mine stones and ores, all while trying to avoid the zombie apocalypse. You can also craft weapons and guns. I was playing the game like Lara Croft style. As soon as I found myself a bow with aim down sights, I was set. I was actually having a pretty good time. In addition to that, this game has some pretty impressive environmental touches as well. So for example, it can rain in the world, and if you're caught out in the rain, you can catch the flu, which will have an impact on your stats. Also, it can get cold outside, so if you're walking around trying to look cool in a tank top, you can also get a cold as well, and you have to either make sure that you have like a heavy coat or you're near fire, and fire can be like a campfire, it can be like a propane tank, or it can actually be a torch in your hand. There's a lot of little touches like that that kind of make you feel like, hey, this feels like a real game. It's not one of those mobile MMOs where you're just kind of going from place to place doing quests with like reckless abandon. It's is not one of those games. It really feels like a real game world, and the development team behind this title really tried to make the world feel like it was authentic. So highly recommend giving this game a shot once it's in your region, or if you're in North America, go ahead and give it a shot right now. It's available on iOS as well as Android. So that will do it for all the titles that released last week. Moving on to this week, we have a few titles that are right around the corner, starting off with Laplace M, which comes out tomorrow. So as you guys know, I'll be there day one with my first impression, so stay tuned for that one. Also coming this week on March 7th is Brown Dust. Now this game has a pretty good degree of hype behind it as well, so this will be my very first time playing the game at all, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this game is all about. Also previously reported, Stardew Valley for Android now has an official launch date on March the 14th. So yes, iOS players have been able to play Stardew Valley on mobile for quite a while, but now Android can finally join the fun on March the 14th. So that will do it for all the titles that have confirmed release dates. Looking ahead to the future, there's a brand new game from Disney called Sorcerer's Arena. Now this game looks to be like a modified Clash Royale / action RPG game. I don't know where it came from, completely left field, but you know I'm gonna play it, so be on the lookout for Disney's Sorcerer's Arena. Also, for all you Bleach fans out there, a brand new Bleach Mobile 3D is on the horizon. This game is brought to you by a company called CM Game, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in conjunction with K-Lab. Now right now this game is accepting pre-registrations on Android as well as iOS, so it seems as if this game is right around the corner, so definitely be ready for this one. Also on the horizon is a brand new title called Aurora Legend. Now this title is currently accepting pre-registrations for iOS as well as Android. Now this is a game that kind of came out of nowhere for me. I don't really know a lot about this title, but looking at the combat sequences, it reminds me a lot of Another Eden, and that's definitely a good thing. So we're gonna have to see what this game kind of amounts to once it releases, but considering that it's now accepting pre-registrations, it shouldn't be too much longer before this game is live and global. Now this entire video I've been saying that pre-registration means that the game is on the way, but here's a game that's been up for pre-registration for quite a while. Elder Scrolls Blades has finally announced that beta is coming this spring, so hopefully we'll be able to see what this game is all about. Now I'll be honest, I was super hyped for this game. When they announced it, I was thrilled that Bethesda was jumping into the mobile arena, kind of showing these other developers that you can make a AAA experience on mobile. I was very excited. Then Fallout 76 happened, so now I don't know what to think. Like, I have no idea which Bethesda we're gonna get on mobile. Hopefully it's a good game, but right now I gotta tell you that I'm a little bit more apprehensive than I was when this game was first announced. But here it is, Elder Scrolls Blades on the way. And now we're gonna end the video as we always do with the quick hits. Not a lot of quick hits going on right now. I think a lot of games are kind of in between their event cycle, so we should see quite a few in the next week. But starting off, NXB, ladies and gentlemen, has updated their game to version 2.0, which basically added crafting. Also in the world of Star Ocean, the Nier collab is back on once again. So here's your opportunity to get some Nier characters for your lineup over there in Star Ocean. That's definitely a game I'm gonna have to try to revisit in 2019 a little bit later. Probably one of the biggest hits this week is Dragalia Lost is now finally available in the UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, Singapore, and New Zealand. I'm actually kind of shocked that this game wasn't already in those regions, but here you go. Now everyone can enjoy Dragalia Lost. Also, Knight's Chronicle has a Fairy Tail collaboration going on right now, one of my top 5 favorite animes of all time. So here's your opportunity to get yourself a Natsu, a Gray, a Lucy, an Urza, a Wendy, no Happy, no Locks. All right, I'm not going to talk about all the characters that the game does not have, but it does have a Fairy Tail collaboration. So if you're thinking about jumping back into the game, just by logging in, you will get yourself a free SSR Wendy. And last but not least, Girls Frontline has a brand new update which includes 5 brand new dolls, which is what they call heroes in that game, including a brand new story chapter by the time you watch this video once again. My name is FG3000. That was the Mobile Gaming Recap, and I will see you guys in the next video. Instagram and Twitter.